From the Spiritual Roots of the Ecological Crisis by Jean-Claude Larchet. A continuation of Chapter 1, How It Was in the Beginning, Man's Original Relationship with Nature. To the prayers of our Holy Fathers, O Lord Jesus Christ our God, have mercy on us. Man, the crown of creation. Man is the crown of creation. When he is created, he enters a dwelling already prepared for him. He is also the most finished of all creatures for the following reasons. 1. He comes as the culmination of a line of creatures, each more perfect than those which preceded it, minerals, plants, animals, etc. 2. He recapitulates all these creatures, since in him are synthesized the mineral, vegetable, and animal worlds. As the Fathers say, he is a microcosmos in a macrocosmos, thus including, in a certain way, all creation in himself. Man is a little world, writes Saint Gregory of Nyssa, who bears within himself all the realities of the great world. This great world is not just the material and perceptible world, but the intelligible and immaterial world as well. Man's superiority over the perceptible world arises because he is also an intelligible creature. He is superior to the intelligible world since he is also a perceptible and material being. This fact is emphasized by the Fathers when they write that because Christ assumed as man both soul and body, man becomes higher than the angels. Saint Gregory of Nazianzus underlines the greatness of man, which comes from his twofold nature, perceptible and intelligible. This makes him a, quote, second world, unquote, recapitulating them both as their mediator. St. Gregory says, quote, up until then, the spirit and the perceptible, distinct one from the other, remained within their own limits and bore within themselves the majesty of the Word, creator of the world. They silently praised the greatness of the work and were its heralds everywhere. As yet, there was no fusion of them, no mixture of opposites. For these are the special signs of still greater wisdom and divine magnificence before created beings. All the riches and goodness of God had not yet been revealed. So, wishing to show this forth, the creating Word arranged that both be combined, that is both visible and invisible nature, in a living being, man. He fashions man's body from what he has already created, and from himself he takes life which he breathes into man, a spiritual soul and an image of God, as the Bible recounts. This man, a second world, great in his lowliness, he then places on the earth as another angel, a worshipper formed from diverse elements, who contemplates visible creation and is an initiate of invisible creation. He is king over the earth and subject to what is on high, a being both earthly and heavenly, ephemeral and immortal, visible and intelligible, a mediator between greatness and lowliness, both spirit and flesh, unquote. 3. Though a plant just has the soul of a plant, and an animal the soul of an animal, man possesses over and above his rational and intellective soul a will, the capacity for self-determination, which allows him to be free. 4. Man was created and modeled in the image and likeness of God, which is not the case for any other being in nature. Man is in the image of God especially through his intellect, his reason, and his will, his capacity for self-determination. He is in the likeness of God through the various virtues which dwell in him, at first just as seeds which he is personally called to cultivate. 5. For this reason, man is not just a microcosm, but so to say a microtheos, a little god, as St. Gregory of Nyssa asserts. For a man to be but a microcosm, he could be seen as a synthesis of earthly elements which are also to be found in mice and mosquitoes. And he could be seen as swallowed up by the material universe instead of embracing it. Thus, as says St. Gregory, he is also another universe within the universe, great in his lowliness. 6. Man is crowned by God as the king of creation, and it is precisely for this reason that he is created last of all creatures, as St. Gregory of Nyssa explains. Quote, "It would not have been natural for the overlord to make his entrance ahead of his subjects. It was only after his kingdom had been made ready that the king could reasonably be revealed, when the creator of the universe had, so to say, made ready the throne of him who was to reign. Behold the earth, the isles, the sea, and above them the vault of heaven like a roof. All manner of riches was placed within this palace. By riches, I mean the whole creation, all that the earth germinates and brings forth, the whole perceptible world, lively and living. Also amongst these riches should be numbered all those things whose beauty makes them precious in the sight of man, gold, silver, and precious stones, so greatly desired, all those treasures which God hides abundantly in the depths of the earth, as in a royal storehouse. This is why man is brought in last to the creation. It is not that he is despised and placed at the lowest level, but because from his birth he was destined to be king over his domain. A good householder does not invite in a guest before making ready the meal. But when everything is tidy as it should be, and the table, bedchamber, and house well adorned, with dinner ready, he invites in his guest. In the same way, he who in his great riches is the host of our nature first decorates the dwelling with all kinds of beauty and prepares a great feast of varied dishes. Then he brings in man, not to bestow on him the goods which he has not yet acquired, but the enjoyment of what he is offered. This is why, in creating him, he lays a double foundation by mixing the divine and the earthly, so that through the quality of each, man should naturally enjoy both God through his divine nature and earthly goods through his feelings, which are of the same kind as these goods. Glory be to our God. To him also be honor and dominion, always, now and ever, and unto the ages of ages. Amen.
Jordanville Readings is produced and distributed by Holy Trinity Publications in Jordanville, New York. All rights reserved. For more information about today's reading and our full list of publications, please see the show notes or visit holytrinitypublications.com. If you are able, please support this podcast and our wider publishing work with a monthly pledge at patreon.com/holytrinity.